We expect to see Striker on that. MCCREE. Striker also before that, he just types in chat, why are you guys so good? You guys, he literally verbatim, you guys so good.
This is an interesting look. So Dante on the Sombra. We've talked and we showed some stats about how good his Sombra play has been throughout the Overwatch League, specifically last year. This will definitely pose some problems, you think, for the shop?
Yeah, top elims on Sombra, top enemies hacked on Sombra, and that's just outside of EMP as well. That's the manual hack. So, I mean, San Francisco, Striker has to be, I mean, he has to have his eyeballs taped open right now. I bet have that 5G in his veins. He's going to catch the Sombra before Dante causes big problems for his front line. So far at San Francisco, they sort of take points here, but look at the rotation from the Outlaws. They tried to dive on someone. It might have been violent out of position, but they get punished here. Open just receives Jungu and Happy. Plenty of damage from the rest of the Shock to complete those kills.
The Shock are starting to feel it a little bit now, Mitch. They're starting to play that aggressive style and play aggressive as a unit, right? Not have like a an FD god go on his own a little bit, or a Violet, let's say, go off on an angle. Starting to play you see how everybody's just kind of clumped together, so close together, playing as a unit. So probably Dante just trying to go for a little bit of a back out here, and the Shock are just going to have somebody go back and deal with it. But look at this, the Amp Matrix comes on through. You have no Mei wall. You're not playing the maze. You don't have a Mei wall. Your Reinhardt just has to stand there. Jungu in a position where really nothing he can do. That's Violet with a kill on the Happy to finish it off. So
wow,
two fights, two big Shock wins.
What a great point, Matt. I mean, you get caught in the open against the Baptiste ultimate as Houston's composition, and you have nowhere to go.
Nothing.
You can try and speed out of there, but they're trying to hide behind these little cars. Those cars, when they cast for ants, they didn't even fit behind them. Dante again on the flank, getting close to that first DMP. Striker looking to see exactly what he can get from a wide swing. Finds nothing, but again, it's a line of sight that can't be broken by the Outlaws. Means that they are really slow on getting through this open area.
The EMP is coming online soon. Oh, big hack onto the base, so you don't have a Mei wall to deal with. This Amp Matrix that's down from Crimzo, and a big EMP. That's going to connect with 4.
Yeah, and still though, the Shock is standing now. Violet lost his immortality field, but the Shock no longer hacked. It doesn't seem to matter though. The Outlaws come up with the goods here. They spend pretty generously on this particular fight, and where Crimzo put that Amp Matrix, they weren't really able to capitalize. Maybe there's a Mei there, they can sort of prevent the Shock from rotating to the left, but they still get the fight with.
And the Shock almost survived that because the EMP doesn't connect with FD God, and he's able to just speed everybody out around the corner. That's why they have to invest the Earth Shatter into it. Probably would have not had to do that if it connected with the Lucio. They would have been in no man's land with the Amp Matrix there.
Violent hack means no immortality field, but he recovers from that now. Great Mei wall. Immortality field came down, but you can see now, Matt, just how critical Mei is setting up these compositions. Both teams are teched up to go fast, and Mei prevents that eventual escape with the Lucio speed boost.
And Judy has to use Sound Barrier there to try and keep Jangu up, and not enough. I mean, they even use the Immortality field, but as soon as he's split off, pretty much dead, as the Outlaws have one more fight to try and get to the point.
It's go time now. Dante does not have an EMP for this particular fight. They have an Amplification Matrix, but Mei wall will be waiting if that came out. Here's the Blizzard Jungle again! Frozen stiff. Self-destruct over the top, actually claimed Choi open there as he got out of his mech. Jungle finally goes down, but it's at the cost of FD God. Nero needs to connect here. He doesn't have Ice Block, but he has a wall. He gets away. Presses Dante a little bit now, and even Juby's getting involved in the fighting on the point, but elsewhere Happy falls. Striker finds that crucial headshot now. Happy once again losing that matchup. And the Outlaws don't have the numbers to take the point, but here's that EMP. Dante sat on that for so long, but again, FD God avoids it. He gets a Sound Barrier. He keeps the Shock in the fight, and it'll give them the round.
You know, not having the Mei is really difficult there. Specifically, if you don't get the point first, you're not hitting those high-value hacks and EMPs. The first EMP got 4, but like I mentioned, didn't get FD God. The second one had to be used in a little bit of desperation. And FD God doesn't get hit with it either, so he ends up using a Sound Barrier. This time, though, looks like Houston will go back and play the mirror. Is Dante coming out potentially on Mei?
And Matt, arguably, they looked the better team when it came to mirroring the compositions against the Shock in map 1, but the compositions, or the rosters were different. This is a different situation now, and there's no precedent for what to expect from a round between these two forms of the Shock and Outlaws, respectively. Happy, of course, on the Symmetra early on. We've seen some teams stick to it. Tayo did that in the first map, and it did not work at all. San Francisco and the Outlaws mirror these compositions.
high ground control here early for the Outlaws, and Happy takes out FD-God. So it's these picks constantly, and that time just trying to get his team in position with the speed, leading the charge a little bit. He gets picked, and it's so difficult because, you know, Happy has been so accurate today, just really on another level. But, you know, against any other team, you might not be getting picked if this is the case.
Jungkook takes a lot of damage there as he tried to swing. Immortality Field, though, is going to be used first from the shot. Juby stunned, able to get away. Violet loses his Immortality Field. Dante's forced to drop down to the low. Oh my, Juby! That could be something there. Not quite. It looks like Violet was able to stay alive and stay on the platform. And so the Shock, they respond with a vengeance. Choikovin barking orders as the rest of the Vanguard pushes up. San Francisco get a fight win.
Running Happy down. The Outlaws don't even get the point out of that. They get that first pick off, don't even get the point. They control the high ground there, so
no one could touch the point itself. Yeah.
Happy with a Deadeye coming in.
What is this?
What in the world is this?
This is some tech, man. This is
they got the May wall here and boosted him up onto the doorway. Okay.
No one expects.
What is the plan here? It's going to be a flash.
Oh my God! Strike is cheeky. God, his spidey senses were tingling. He just drops down and apprehends these ne'er-do-wells. San Francisco now at 32% on the clock, and I don't know how we got up there, but bloody hell. It only works once, Matt, but my God, it works.
So you got to bring your playoff strats out the second game of the season, you know? So that is a filthy spot as Tengu, he was like, there's something up about this. And as soon as he looked up, he saw Striker, the flashbang came down. Beautiful shatter.
That's right, Jungkook. Gullible's written on the ceiling, mate. Striker in the back here with a Deadeye, just peppering Piggy. We need to be careful now. Okay, nice disengage there from Juby. Gets the Outlaws outside of that Blizzard. Some shots to Violet to keep him honest at the very least. But that Air Matrix is in a rough position. Here's the bomb. Oh, FD-God was not ready for that. The man is just too busy. Too about town is FD-God.
And it was a beautiful Maywall from Dante when the Blizzard came down because the Shock were not able to push on up through it. Self-destruct gets one, and Ant Matrix here for the Outlaws is they should be able to take this point.
Crimso's down though. It's got to be a sound barrier here just to have the extra durability to end the fight. With Violet being traded out though, I think the Outlaws will be happy with that. And they, listen, they really let this get a bit out of hand. They don't have the point yet. 90-odd% here for the Shock, and Houston were on the brink, the precipice, the knife edge to winning this series, and now San Francisco, they've found some form and control, Matt.
They're going to get this to 99 as FD-God does a tremendous job stalling. Nero drops down with a block. Choi just kind of goes in, gives his mech up towards the end. So the Outlaws, they got to run it back. 99-0. Now they have control of the point.
San Francisco could be in the midst of one of the greatest comebacks we have ever seen in a series of Overwatch. All right. Deadeye from Striker. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. The Outlaws are still perched up on theirs for the time being. They avoid the Deadeye. Now it's Happy's turn to try and find some happy little skulls. He gets hit by Super, but gets Nero. It's a shatter as well to follow it up. The Outlaws starting to get into gear. Super and Choikovin knocked down. Frozen. A comfortable cleanup now.
All right, so next fight here for the Shock. You'll have an Ant Matrix, the Shatter, and you'll most likely get the Blizzard yet again. So probably have the Ant Matrixes traded out at that point. You know, maybe when you see that Piggy goes for the self-destruct, that's when you drop the Blizzard. Potentially, you know, without the defense matrix, you're able to get a free Blizzard.
Again, it's a matter of forcing the Outlaws off the point. Piggy now is just contesting. Nero very aware that that Diva could ruin his Blizzard hopes.
Oh,
Super down early.
Gotta back up.
And they do, but they lose Nero as well. That's not good. This puts the Shock in one-fight territory, Matt. Look at this stagger.
And it allows the Outlaws to build up some of these ults. You know, they're going to get close to their own Blizzard, their own Deadeye. Specifically, they're going to have a sound barrier, which is huge, because now the Blizzard that comes in from the Shock, you know, as long as Juby doesn't get stuck in it, he can just drop that sound barrier, save everybody. There's a huge fight win there for the Outlaws.
All right, so Biotic Aura has to be used there by Crimson early, just for Happy's benefit, as he went a little bit low. This is it. This is where the fight happens now. The Shock try to get themselves here onto a decider map. They're just going to get the point back now. It's 99-99, and Happy has the Deadeye ready. He goes forward, flash immediately in the background. It'll be a May wall to make it hard to connect this Deadeye, but he will still look anyway. comes up with nothing. His prospecting is over now, but FD God is fallen again. Maybe a weak point for the Shock in this fight. They've lost at Lucio already. Nero's forced into Ice Block. Self-destruct on top just looks like a cake topper if anything else, but that's a big blizzard. Super may be unable to get out of that one, and Choikoven is desuited. Striker being pressured out now by Picky. He's forced away from the fight. Super Shield, it's so low. Tries to stay alive now, and a Maywall is thrown up. The Immortality Field of Violet is down. Still locked in 99-99. A death grip for the Outlaws here as they try to keep control. Shatter, it gets Nero. That's all, and it's not enough. Piggy and Happy go down. Dante falls, and Junga was run out of town. I cannot believe this! San Francisco, they're forcing a decider map, man. What is this?
Outlaws fans are freaking out as we have seen this before from San Francisco. They look on the... Look, I mentioned it earlier. It's so difficult to close out these championship teams, especially one back-to-back. Even in the fights, Mitch, that it looks like it's going to go well for the Outlaws. They get the first pick on the FD God at the beginning of that. The Shock battle back in it. And we get our first game at map 6 of the season.